um, all right. So motion sickness. That was like the demo version. I think that was pretty good. I think that was pretty right what she plays on that. Um, uh, but, okay, so and it also for the record, so it's mostly finger picked, and you could play all those chords and all that stuff with a pick, and then it would be more like the you know you could play with a pick, uh, but obviously that demo version finger picked. So open D flat tuning. I have a whole tutorial on how to get into open D flat tuning. It's D flat, A flat, D flat, F, A flat, D flat. So yeah, let's just talk about the finger picking pattern first, which pretty much goes throughout that whole part until the sort of ending when it starts strumming. Your thumb is just going in between the 6th string and the 4th string on every beat like that. And that's going to be for most of the time, except for on a few of the chords when the thumb goes to the A or sometimes goes to the D. But the main picking pattern, the thumb is going between the E and D, or the 6 and 4. And then I'm playing it the style with index and middle. You know, some people finger pick with just index, which you can do. I've always done this with both. Your index is on the G string or the 3rd string. Your middle finger is on the B string or the 2nd string, and basically it's like there's a lot of ways you can think about these kind of patterns. I think of it as like it's like thumb, 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 index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. So the index and middle are always going in between the thumb notes, and it sort of starts the second time that you do thumb, thumb. So it's like thumb, thumb, then thumb in. I'll do that really slow. Thumb, 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 index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle, thumb, index, thumb, middle. Anyway, if you've done a lot of finger picking, this is a very familiar pattern. If you haven't, you could maybe spend a lot of time learning how to do that, which is a very useful thing to know how to do. There's lots of songs that use that. So, anyway, I'm going to assume that you know how to do something like that. And with finger picking, I always think you can always sort of make up your own versions of things. Just keep your fingers moving. The thumb is the important part because it's keeping the rhythm, you know. Okay, so the first goes between this and this. This is just 5th fret on the 6th string and down to here. It goes slightly different amounts of time depending on the verse. So like I hate you, I hate you, hate you. That one goes for 2 measures, and then to this for 1 measure, and then for this for 1 measure. That's the first verse. And maybe the 2nd and 3rd are the same. You gave me 1500. That's 1 bar, and then 1 bar, and then 1 bar. And I think that I'm on the outside. Yeah. So it's just the first one that's different. The other 2 are the same. It's 1 bar, 1 bar, 1 bar, 1 bar. Then it does this. Hammer on the 2nd fret on the 5th string. And to me, this is the hardest part of the whole song. It's like 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's hammers this on, and then it's in this shape for 3 beats, and then it lifts it up for the 4th beat of that measure, and then does a regular measure back on the first chord, you know. So it might be easier in some cases to try to match that up with the singing, right? I only win one time, or like, you know, I feel every time. makes sense. This part is also kind of hard. So hammering on the 2nd fret now on the 4th string. This is also kind of a finger picking challenge. I think I ended up doing it like, so I ended up doing my thumb hammers this on. I mean, my 2nd finger in this hand hammers this on, and then my thumb plays it. And then I'm doing thumb, thumb, middle, thumb, thumb. Then slide from 2 to 4. Hammer on the 2nd. Slide up to 4. This is on the 4th string. Fill it in somehow, you know. And then down to the 5th fret on the 5th string. So hammer onto 2, slide up to 4, and then 3rd finger plays the 5th fret on the 5th string. And that gets you back to this. And the only thing that happens different now is she goes, so it's like, you know, dun, that it all worked out. So hopefully that makes sense. It's pretty, I find it tricky. And again, with the finger picking, I think that's pretty correct. But I think anything that keeps it going is fine, you know? You know what I mean? It's just, but the important thing is these notes. 2nd fret on the 4th string, 4th fret, slide up to 4th fret on the 4th string. Have your 3rd finger come down and get the 5th fret on the 5th string, and then have it move to get the 5th fret on the low string on the 6th string, and then you have this little thing going between 5, 4, and now another little tricky thing. This happens a bunch of times, and it's, you play the 5th string, then you hammer on the 4th fret on the 5th string, and in between play 4, 3, and then hammer on from 4 to 5. And again, after you do that, play, I'm doing my index on the D and my middle on the G. And that leads you back there. Right back into your standard thing. Okay, chorus goes to this. This thing again. New chord, 2nd fret on the 5th string, then down to this chord, and then this chord, which is the 4th fret on the 6th string and the 5th string. So 1 bar on this, 1 bar on this, actually just half bar, and then that trick again. Of where your thumb, instead of being on the 6th string, is on the 5th string. So it's like, somebody roll. Now my, but then immediately, this is just 2 beats. Window, then you're to this, down, there are words in the English language. Another new chord. So there's a couple chords here that are related. This one and this one, same thing. 4th fret on the 6 and 5, 2nd fret on the 6 and 5. Later they're going to come up with the 1st finger on the 3rd string, but I think in the chorus you don't need that. So it's like, down, there are no words in the English language, down to this. I could use to drown. I had to restart my camera. I don't know where it stopped. So I'll start from somewhere in the chorus. Chorus. That trick. I said that trick, but it's a little different than it is in the verse, right? Because now it's, instead of going, it's just. fret on the 5th string. And then you don't really need this. I'm kind of setting it up for what it's going to be later when it's this chord. The only note you really need is the 4th fret on the low string, on the 6th string. Because you can be roll, roll, you could also play it like that, especially if you're going to kind of do that, which I do sometimes. By that, I mean like your thumb can kind of pluck a little more than it, or strum a little bit more than it just plucks. First finger or your second finger. Hammer on a 2, and then I can use to drown you out. That thing again. So this is I can use to drown you out. And now this thing again. From open to 4, hammer on from 4 to 5, and again in between them you're playing those 2 strings, the 4th and the 3rd, which you could do with index in the middle or with thumb and with your thumb and your index. You could do it a lot of different ways. And if you're doing the sort of sloppy version, you could go like whatever you want to do. Okay, so then there's a little sort of interlude after the first chorus, which is this. So this is like that thing that happens in the verse. Same thing, hammering on the 2nd fret on the D. Now I'm using my first finger before I use my 2nd finger. It doesn't matter. 2, 4, 5 on the 5th string, then down to 5 on the 6th string. Now this time, this is the only time in the song that this happens. So now it's hammer on to 2, slide up to 4, slide up to 7, and then jump down to the 5th fret on the 6th string. So that whole interlude goes. 4, 7, back down there. That thing again. Another verse that's like the 2nd verse, another chorus that's regular, but now that chorus, this chorus then repeats. There's another chorus, so I could use to drown you out. Which brings you right back into the chorus. You do that again. I'm realizing that is the way I do it. I do thumb, 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 index, thumb, thumb, index. Right back into why do you sing with an English accent? It's too late to change it now. You know I'm never gonna let you have it. Now, this is where you'd be going, in any regular chorus to this, which you do, but now it starts strumming. So, I'm never gonna let you have it. I think when I played it before, I strummed with my thumb, and just now I started strumming with my nails. It's up to you, however you want to strum. You could pick up a pick real quick. This is what I'm talking about, where now the chords I'm using for this and this include the 1st finger on the G string. So this is 1st finger on the 1st fret of the 3rd string, 2nd finger on 2nd fret of the 6th string, 3rd finger on 2nd fret of the 5th string. Move that shape up 2. Now into this shape, which is second finger on the 5th fret of the 6th string, third finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string, and pinky on the 5th fret of the 3rd string. This chord in the whole outro does a lot of this. So I'm replacing my 3rd finger on the 5th string with my 1st finger on the 4th fret. It's kind of an optional, it's nice, but it's, you know, I wouldn't worry about it too much. Then move that shape up to 7. So this is just across the 7th fret, 2nd finger on the 7th fret of the 6th string, 3rd finger on the 7th fret of the 5th string, and pinky on the 7th fret of the 3rd string. And then this. So this is that same minor shape that we did down here, but now it's up here. 1st finger on the 8th fret of the 3rd string, 2nd finger on the 9th fret of the 6th string, 3rd finger on the 9th fret of the 5th string. And that's fast. It's just there for a beat. It's going to do that a couple times. Basically going from 7 to 9 and 8 to 5 with that optional little embellishment on the 5th string. Just barring the 2nd fret. Back to that guy. And now it's a chorus that's strummed. So I'm playing it a little differently when I'm strumming it. I'm doing this for the, what was this before is now this. This is the across the 5th fret one. You could just go to all open. I'm going to this. Or these are all the same basic chord, right? All open, or 3rd finger on the 5th fret of the 5th string and 1st finger on the 3rd fret of the 3rd string. And then I'm going to this. 2nd fret on the 4th string, 4th fret on the 4th string, and you don't want this string in that one. So right? This is the chord before that was just this. Now I'm adding my 1st finger. I surrender to the sun. Again, so it's basically all like the chorus was before, going from this to this, and then at the end it just hangs out on this chord, and it does these stuff. Does these things where you go in between. So first of all, these are both things you could play. So this is all the way across the 5th, like 5th fret on the 6th, 5th fret on the 5th, 5th fret on the 3rd, but you could also do 3rd fret on the 3rd. And I'm kind of doing that because it makes it easy for me to do this, which is that thing she does where you go from 5 to 4 on the 6 and 5. Okay, hopefully that all makes sense. I know it's kind of a lot of things, but like I was saying, I'd say you can totally make up your own version of the finger picking of everything else. But hopefully all the basic chords and how they work make sense. All right, thank you.